Hey guys, Jake Palat here, and today I'm going to talk to you about learning to ride the wave on a foil board. I did another video on learning how to get up on a foil board and learning how to fly the wing. If you haven't watched that yet and you're just getting started, I highly recommend checking that out. But assuming you're past that point now, let's talk about how you get into the wave. The easiest place to learn is on the second wave, so you're on a long line, starting out on the side of the boat away from the wake, and we're gonna work our way back in from the side and start to get that foil interacting with the wave. So you wanna slowly come in towards the wake, leaning your way in, guiding you right to the face of the second wave. And at this point, you wanna be flying the wing really low. Staying nice and low is gonna help you control the speed of what's happening underneath you. It can be a little tricky to find exactly where you want to be on the wave, but typically if you're on a full-length wakeboard rope or at the end of the Ronix foil rope, you'll be just about at the second wave, which is going to help you out with finding your position. So as you're working your way in, as soon as your wing interacts with the wave, it's going to give you a massive amount of lift, which will often throw you forward because it's bringing that wing up and out of the water, giving you so much speed and momentum that it's going to toss you off the board. So being ready for that is super important. So that's why we come in flying the wing low with a bunch of weight on our front foot. So as soon as that wave starts to give us lift and push us up, you're just gonna step on your front foot, helping to keep that board down and control your speed. I try to line up my position with the end of the first wave in front of me. So I'm looking down the line and I'm directly behind the whitewash on the first wave. That gives me a home point for knowing where to work off of in the wave. Controlling your lift is the hardest part of learning how to fly your wing in the wave. So being ready for that lift to be generated, getting on your front foot to control it is a little challenging and it takes a little bit of time, but just know as soon as your wing interacts with the wave, it's gonna wanna send you upwards and drive you forward. The other important thing with foiling is realizing that you have so much to work with. You have side to side width and you have forward to back length with your wave that you're working with. So typically wake surfing, you're kind of driving straight towards the boat. With foiling, if you get forward momentum, you're gonna end up in between those two waves there and lose all your push. So what you wanna do is really use your side to side width to your advantage of that second wave. So if you start to build a bunch of speed in the wave and you're finding yourself ending up in the back of the first wave or losing all your momentum, just start to experiment with cutting around side to side a little bit. A lot of times what I'll do, if I start to get a bunch of forward drive that's pushing me out in front of the wave, I'll cut in towards the middle a little bit because that second wave really wraps up around forward. So if you're getting pushed straight along here, you're gonna end up in that valley. But if you use your momentum that you're getting pushing you forward and kind of turn in towards the wave in the center, you're gonna be able to catch yourself and use your side to side width cutting back and forth to maintain a constant speed. It's important to stand up nice and tall with your hips right underneath your chest through this whole process. The key to foiling is never breaking at the waist. Standing up tall, using your shoulders to guide your turns is gonna help you a lot. One other important aspect is the higher you fly your wing, so the closer your wing is to the surface of the water, the less drag you're gonna have. So if you're struggling keeping up with the boat, you're gonna wanna lift that wing up a little higher. And vice versa. If you're trying to slow yourself down, you want to kind of set the board down a little bit and it'll slow you down. So the most fun aspect to foiling, in my opinion, is that three-dimensional aspect of you have so many directions that you can take your foil and so much room to play with. And it's also the most important part to realize when you're learning to actually surf the wing. If you're just going forward and back, you're going to find yourself either gaining too much speed and losing it, or losing all your speed and falling back in the wave. But if you really embrace the side-to-side motion and use the whole length of that wave that you're working with, you're gonna realize that you have a ton of room to play with, which makes foiling super intuitive and super, super fun. So one of the key takeaways from this is I set my home point being right behind the whitewash on the first wave. That's my safe spot. If I'm ever foiling around and I'm gaining speed and losing speed, I know that if I get back to that spot, that's my reset point. And then it just takes time to learn to fly your wing and understand where you're at with it. whether you're flying it too high, too low. It's gonna take time to figure all that out, but just embrace the process. It's a ton of fun once you do figure it out, and that's what's made foiling my new favorite pastime when I'm not wakeboarding. So I hope you found these tips helpful, and it makes it easier for you to figure out what you're doing with foiling. These are the things that have helped me a lot and have helped the people that I've taught to foil so far. So if you have any other questions on any of this stuff, feel free to leave a comment. And if you found this helpful, make sure you subscribe to follow along for more videos. Thanks for watching.